Just kind of picking back up, like to move into like actually in the marriage, right? Like how I was saying, sometimes sisters treat us like we desperate also, right? And one of the biggest things that I find, like not only with my process or but with people that I'm trying to help, it's the Kaffir mentality that we have developed, right? So let's say this, like I'm not gonna say all the sisters, but with my situation, not me trying to marry, but also trying to be a wakil for it. Because I like to get all the information. Because one thing about us as a wakil, we're protection for the sister, but we also a protection for the brother as well. And see, some people tend to forget that aspect. And then sometimes when we look at sisters, some brothers, because like I say, I talk to other people who wakils, right? Sometimes their main concern is if a person can pay the bills, you know, and give her the little stuff she want. They don't even really look towards the character. What they deem is really like is how much you make. The sister want this and that, and then that's where it really stops. And then the sister, sometimes the sister main concern coming in is, I don't have to give you anything, right? Like he gonna take care of everything, and can I work and keep all my money? So they don't even really also necessarily go towards the character either. So it's a tricky situation. So like one thing that I be seeing with the sisters, as I dig deep, some of them had the mentality of, I will be with a man that I don't like, right? Because I can control him, and he has access to all of me. I'm going to cook, I'm going to clean, I'm going to make him feel like we in love, right? He's going to think I'm the best thing that ever happened to him. But then when these sisters end up in a situation with a person that they actually do like, their mentality is in reverse. I can't let you know that I like you. I got to make you think that I don't. You see what I'm saying? Whether it's fear, or a lot of them say it's fear. They don't want to be hurt, and they comfortable with these guys that they don't necessarily like, but they uncomfortable with the guys that they do like. So these make, when they do get married, some of us sitting down and having a counseling, it be that more than anything. Okay, I'm starting to like him, and now I'm scared. So it's making me difficult to treat him the way he want to be treated. Have you ever heard that type of mentality in sisters? Like the man that they use and they don't care about, he get everything that the good person deserve. But then the person who they love, or they say they love, he gets the treatment that the one that they shouldn't like deserve. Like it's in reverse, and this is messing up.
Yeah.
This messes up some marriages. So you know, because you're a female, like you familiar with this, with females being like that?
I know exactly what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. I didn't see ladies do that. A lot of that is from survival mode. No matter which way, whether he's a good guy or the guy that's a little rough around the edges or extra rough around the edges, it's really a survival mode tactic, because you know, if the sister is like literally looking for somebody to take care of her financially. First of all, we're in a day where women work, versus my grandmother, she never worked a day in her life.
Okay.
Her husband took care of her. My grandfather took care of her and all 10 kids.
Okay.
So she didn't. So she did what she was supposed to do at home.
Okay.
While he went out and made the money. So it's definitely a survival mode. So now we're at a time where our parents, depending on what the generation, like my mother's generation, kind of like went away from that. Not all of them, but some of them kind of went away from that because of the treatment that they seen that their mom was going through or their dad was going through, and they didn't want to be like that, quote unquote. Okay. So now it trickles down to our generation, and we don't want to be done like that. So you find a lot of women, unfortunately, in survival mode. And that's because, whether it be as a result of our own doing, because some of it is from our own doing. Some of it is just the hand that we dealt and we rolled with it, and then we just held on to that hand because that's all we know. Right. So like for me, I know I'm a workaholic.
Okay.
But that's all I know. You know what I'm saying? That's my way it's really part of my way of coping. But at the same time, you have women when they want a man to do this, do that, do this, that, and she feel like she don't have to give off nothing. That's really a survival tactic. But at the same time, when we take our shahada, that's how they present it to us. The woman don't have to do nothing.
Right.
The man do all of this, and then they talk about how the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam he made sure all this was taken care of, but they don't bring up the part where Khadijah, you know what I'm saying, wouldn't let him touch anything because she handled her business.
Right.
They don't remember that part. You know what I'm saying? So it's but that's what they tell you. But if you don't know, you know what I'm saying, especially taking your shahada and this is what you're fed. And I mean, like, straight out the door, even for myself. Like, I took my shahada, I think it was a Thursday. I want to say it was a Thursday. Man, by that Monday, them sisters was trying to marry me. Oh, whoa, wait a minute.
Right.
And this is what they're telling me.
Right.
The woman you don't have to do nothing, and da-da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, oh, really? But I want to work. I've been working since I was like, what? 16, 17 off and on.
Yeah.
And then my children's father, he didn't want me to work. So while me and him were together, I didn't have to work. But when me and him went separate ways, by the age of 21, I've been working. And I'm well in there. My daughter's 27. Right. So that kind of... So when I turned 21, I had been working a full-time job pretty much ever since. So it's... But that's all it is. That's a survival mode. So for the sister who is like the brother, Claire's a good brother, and she feel like she don't want to come off and say anything or show that she want him or show her appreciation, and she's showing the hard side. That's survival mode too, because somewhere down the line, her heart has been broken.
Okay.
And what she done is that she's actually expressed how she felt. Or showed it, like she made, whether it be physical, material, or whatever it is, emotional, like she showed this to this man. And instead of him appreciating it and cultivating on it, he took advantage of it. And she like, oh, this too good to be true. And because of that too good to be true type situation, they kind of like self-sabotage unknowingly.
Right.
And I've done that before. It was... I was in my mid-20s, and I can remember, and I'm like, and I even told you, like, dude, I told you I wasn't ready, but instead of me sticking with that, I indulged in, I was appreciating the attention, and I told him that. I was enjoying the attention that you was giving me, but it still didn't make it right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I knew that I could not give him what he needed, or and I was too scared to. Even if I could, I was too scared to, and I sabotaged it. So I can get away from that because of that.
Oh, okay. So you sabotaged so that you could get away? Because you even what if it wasn't anything that he really needed from you though? Like, what is it that you felt like he actually needed?
Well, because sometimes I was young.
The sisters be confusing the two.
I was in my mid-20s. I ain't know no better.
Right, I got you. Because, like I say, and see, like this, we bring this to the Deen of Islam. Because when women have conditioned themselves to do every and anything to keep somebody that they don't like, right? Then they feel like they doing what this person need. This person need me for this. Then when they get somebody who a good guy, or we ain't gonna say, because we ain't gonna say the person that they don't like, we're not gonna say they're a bad guy. So I ain't gonna say bad or good guy, right. But we'll say the person they don't like versus the person that they do like. They can't figure out how to be what they is for the person that they don't like, because this is the only condition they know. When they don't even have to be that for the person they like, and it scares them. Just like how you said you got scared, so you sabotaged it so that you could get away from it.
Yeah, it's. I sure did. When I seen it to this day, I was like, my bad, bro. I was young and dumb, but
and see this.
But I knew too I wasn't ready, and I kept telling him that.
Now see, like with this right here, because this is an aspect and a point of view that a lot of people don't know of, because this is the part, like with this situation, because some of the sisters is groomed basically like you come in taking advantage of the Muslim man. Like there's no really doing him wrong or taking advantage of him, because this is what he's supposed to do and this is what he's supposed to be, right? And then if he's not a good Muslim, or he's not a real man. But some sisters, they're marrying what can be done and not the man. So sometimes, then if they marry the man and they start liking him and he like her too, they will self-sabotage it. And then when the brother divorced them or move around, they play victim. Like, woe is me, this and that. But a lot of people don't know, a lot of Muslim marriages come to the end like that, or brothers, because this is the brother perspective, or we'll see this energy, and we won't put ourselves in a position to start to build on flaky and shaky grounds. You know what I'm saying? Like, because then a woman, because they used to the guy that they could control, who's trying to impress them and coming up with anything, because they have to do that to keep them around, because they know she probably don't really like me. You know what I'm saying? Or I can't do any better than her. So when they with the person who possibly could do better than them, but he chose them because he liked them, because with us, doing better than a person, it don't mean how you look, it don't mean what you have, because we don't have access to none of that. It ain't like y'all finna work for us to pay bills. So better than could be a mindset, how you make a man feel, right? So they may be used to this guy saying, yeah, well, we gonna do this and this how we gonna be. So when they with the other person and he don't do none of that, it confuses them, because they used to one type of person, and then the only reason why the other person not doing it is because you acting too shaky. Why would I talk about, I'm not finna talk to impress you, or sit up and make plans to build a life and you gonna tear it up. You see what I'm saying? So like, I want, like, with some couples that I talk to, it be like this. You know what I'm saying? This is the two main dynamics that I see. I either see a brother who unhappy, that got a wife that's running over him, and then he thinks she's unhappy because there's nothing he could do that's good enough. So now they both unhappy, but she's just really stepping on his toes. Or the brother got the sister who's self-sabotaging because of fear, survival mode. Because like when I look at the dynamics, or the third dynamic, which it ain't that common, or they don't really talk about it, they don't really like the brother, but he do everything and they don't have to do nothing. Right? So those are the main three, but the main two is a brother who got a sister who's running over him, or a brother who got a sister who's self-sabotaging and may play victim, because they have to come up with something in their head to where it's not looking like it's their fault. So this right here, this is a dynamic that's destroying marriages. You see what I'm saying? And people in Islam is destroying the marriages because we not putting the deen first. You know, it's a tricky situation, and it's me and talking to other people. It's
that's like, what I was about to say. how
do you come and fix it? Yeah, because like it's a difficult situation, and it's difficult to fix, because some brothers may have a guy who want to do certain things with him, but he can't move that direction because she's self-sabotaging and he see it. So she's going to process it from her point of view. You know what I'm saying? And then the sister who really might have a good guy, but she's stepping on his toes, he weak to her. You know what I'm saying? He'll bend over backwards for to do stupid stuff that she tell him to do, just to see, not if he a real man. Like, basically, I'm finna tell him to do something stupid, and he gonna go above and beyond trying to do it, thinking that's gonna make him look like a real man to me, but really he just look weak and stupid to me. So she just continue to step on him, and then they both unhappy. You know, you like what I'm talking about. This stuff sound familiar from the female perspective. You know, women that do this. Yeah. So some of it, and see, some of
it's a lot of it they bring from. I was gonna say it was a lot of this stuff that they bring from their past. Instead of dropping off that baggage, they hold on to it. And stuff that looks similar, they hold on to that, and then they bring it with them. And then two is just they don't want to be vulnerable. Some people flat out don't want to be vulnerable, and to be honest, it's hard. It's hard to be vulnerable, and it's like when a person finally do open up, and they open up, and they, whether it's expressing about whatever it is, their present, their truth, or whatever that is, and they're worrying about that judgment. Will somebody accept that? And a lot of people don't want to sit in that discomfort. So not being able to be vulnerable. Some people don't even know how to be vulnerable because of life situation, have them on a chokehold. And then it's you got to get yourself to a point where you want to love on purpose.
Okay. See,
there that you taking advantage of somebody, and then you start loving this individual on accident. Oh my gosh, I done messed the game up. You know what I'm saying? Because that happens too. Now here it is. Now you done fell in love with this person. Now you got to sabotage to get up out of it because you don't want this person to know that you really loving them now. So you have a lot of that, but that's because we don't want to be vulnerable. When I say we, at one point in time, I did not want to be either. I didn't want to let somebody in because you don't want to get hurt. You don't want to go through the tripped out changes. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that I took advantage of people. You know, that's not what you're supposed to do. But it's still some people do, and that's just all it is. They don't, and this is male and female, they don't want to be vulnerable. Don't want to be truthful because you afraid that a person will not accept you as is. You know what I'm saying? And like I mentioned before, we evolve every day. Every day there should be at least some type of change. I don't care if it ain't nothing but a change in your walk and a change in your talk. There's going to be something slightly different about you every day. It should be. Only because what happened yesterday, you should have learned from it. You know what I'm saying? It is nothing but to learn how to be a little bit more happy within yourself. But people don't. They don't want to be vulnerable. They're scared to be vulnerable. And it's like, from a woman's perspective, it's a scared space. Because now not only are you opening up to a man that you have to go to, technically, this is from my point of view, you got to go to this man about everything. If you want to go somewhere, you got to seek permission. You got a lot of sisters, they feel like they can come and go as they please. You know, as a single woman, yeah, if I need to go to the store, I'm going to get up and go to the store. Right. But then if I'm married, it'd be like, hey, you know, I want to go to the store and get some stuff. Do you mind? Or, hey, I need to go to the store. Then based off of your response would be, nah, I'm going to go to the store for you. Or, oh, okay, what time you going? When you going to be back? Then you find women would think, oh, that's controlling. Nah, baby, he might need to know where you at just in case if something pop off. But we don't look at it from that point because we don't see our mothers doing that, or hadn't seen our mothers doing that. Then our daughters, if our daughters don't see us doing that, they're not going to do it. So that's where that trickle down, we don't know how to be vulnerable because we don't see it. And then with the hard stuff that comes along with life, we kind of like shun up. We don't want to be vulnerable. I'm gonna tell you right now. After that, what that happened with that man, I didn't want to. Man, don't even talk to me about marriage. No. Matter of fact, block. Because I did not want to be vulnerable. And then I had to get to a space to want to be vulnerable and open up. And then now I'm at that spot. I'm selective in who I'm vulnerable with.
Right.
And I did. I had to be very, very selective who I want to be vulnerable with. So it's when a person is truly ready to be vulnerable, you can't be with everybody. That's just flat out. Because everybody not for you, just like you're not for everybody.
Right.
But that's all it is a lot of people are just, they're afraid to be vulnerable when it's a scary space.
Right.
True enough. Like, think about it. There's some things you probably don't want to tell somebody about yourself. Not so much you scared to tell them, it's just that, this person could use it against you.
Right.
And it does happen. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So you want to be able to see if you could trust this person with your person. And you can't trust everybody with that. So that's what it is. It's a lot of that. And you probably find it a lot more in the sisters than you do in the men.
Well, see, it'd be a
because we gotta come to you for permission.
Well, see, okay, so like with that, sometimes I see where brothers say, because I trust you, you don't have to come ask me about simple stuff like, can I go to the store? Can I do this? Because some of that is misinterpreted. You know what I'm saying? But when a brother say that, you know what the sisters say? You don't really care about me. They got a problem with having to come ask, but then when you tell them they don't have to, then you don't care about me. Your value went out. Okay.
That right there, that's a mind game.
That's a mind game on both ends?
That is definitely a mind game. Somebody played with their mental.
Right.
That's a mind game. Somebody played with their mental, and because of that, they don't realize that is still playing in their mind.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, literally. They don't realize that. That it's really a mental. And I mean, the sister's not going to like that I'm saying it. I don't care. If the shoe fit, lace them puppies up pretty. But it's the truth.
And see,
so that brother done played with her mind.
Okay.
Go ahead. I mean, you was talking?
No, because I was saying.
Oh.
Sometimes
somebody played with her mind.
Now, sometimes, because see, like, you giving a female perspective. Sometimes when I see it, it's almost like because they used to playing games with men, that they almost done play games with their own mind because they can't, every man is not the same. So when they transfer into a different situation, they bring in characteristics from their past to the present. So like you said, it's a mind game, but okay. I'm saying I'm glad you said that because some man probably have, I can see that, where a man done played with their mind. Because like the way we look at it, okay, she's so used to playing with people, she don't know how to stop. Because playing games is how she survived. So to her, it ain't playing games, she just have mixed emotions. You know what I'm saying? Because playing games is how she manipulates. It could be some of all of that. Right. You right. Now, for me, go ahead.
No, all I was saying is like for the woman, we have, just being honest, we naturally is going to follow the man that we with, especially the man that we like, we dig, and we naturally going to follow him. Now, say I'm liking this guy, and he owns some mess. He just whatever, street dude, you know, he in some mess, and he playing games, he messing with different women. That's gonna mess with a woman's mental.
Right.
So that's why I say, like, somewhere down the line, and then say, like, we so used to, and saying it like this, that some people, they wasn't always Muslim as far as taking a shahada and moving forward, right? So when you're younger, you didn't dibble-dabble in a variety of relationships that you really didn't have no business being in. And one thing that I seen when I was younger, dudes would act like whole relationship, but then soon something jump off or he get caught being with another chick. You was never my girl. Well, wait a minute. This whole time, you was my whole dude. What do you mean? So, with that being said, now here it is. We have the title of marriage, husband and wife. So some of them still have that mental of, this is my man, versus, you know, when we was younger, look, boyfriend, little girlfriend, but we said, this my man, this my woman. So now you're married, this my man, this my woman. You're still pulling that same concept, thought process with you. So it still goes back to, people are carrying baggage from when they were younger in survival mode, and they don't want to let it go. Unfortunately, something has to happen, something has to switch, something has to trigger in order for them to get out of that mindset. It's period, and they have to want to, because if not, they're going to be stuck in it.
And see, that's why, like, I'm glad we're having this conversation, because, like I say, when I don't want to say counseling, but talking to people about their marriages, this dynamic, and I'm going to talk about some of the characteristics that I see from particular brothers, like I seen with sisters that self-sabotage the marriage. But this is putting it all in a different perspective, because I just kept saying we keep bringing our kafir ways to Muslim marriage. You see what I'm saying? So, like, we saying the same thing. I'm just wording it that way. We can't stop acting like kafirs. Like, all that stuff that we did, and like, because one, like I say, and I don't mean this as disrespect, but for real, a lot of us really don't know how to be Muslim. We accepted Islam, we took our shahadas, we know how to pray, we know how to fast, but we don't really know how to be Muslim, because all our lives we been kafir or lived like kafir, and we in a kafir society. So a lot of us just don't know how to be Muslim, and because that's the thing that start to change a lot of the communities, is we gonna have to start having strong marriages. Because generally, sometimes when people in marriages, even if it's fake, right, even if they using the person, male or female, people tend to do right when they're in marriages. When people are single, they tend to rip and run, tend to mess with whoever they want to, this male and female. They just, I'm going to do whatever I want, but a lot of times them doing whatever they want is stuff that's dysfunctional in society. But when they have a marriage, even though they might be playing games and not like each other in the home, but they staying out of the clubs, they not fighting in the streets, they tend to kind of want to do right on some level, even if they with somebody they don't like or somebody they using. So trying to figure out how to get the Muslims to start having these marriages again and start getting over the hills and the humps of baggage, it's going to be, it's going to take some time, but conversations like this have to be had, because as you can see, we have different perspectives. Ours not so much off of an emotion or what we feel. So like, some brothers not dismissing how women feel, but it be mixed signals. You see what I'm saying? So they don't know how to take them, and that's like, from the men, from the perspective, this is how I see where they kind of sabotaged, or things that make the marriage difficult. And this isn't no disrespect to no men, but some brothers may have been in the streets, right? And throughout that journey, they experimented with some type of narcotic, pills, some form of narcotic. And then they may have went to prison and different prisons and seen a lot, been through a lot, possibly abandoned by, forgot about. And then they come out into society, and then they don't want to be that no more. But from the drugs, from doing drugs in their teenage years or early 20s, and then going to the penitentiary and just dealing with a lot of trauma. Even if nothing happened to them, just looking at it, being locked up with men all day is a trauma for me. I don't like dudes, you know what I'm saying? So being locked up around men is a trauma within itself. You know what I'm saying? And then when you know, I mean, for me it is, like, you know what I'm saying? So, but
so I agree with you.
So they mind, and then they got to come home. So when they come home, and this isn't no nocturnal, but when they come home, let's say if they went to prison at 17, and now when they get out, they 25 or 27, they like a 17-year-old, but they don't know it. Just like how some of the women who, the way they lived at 15, 16, 17, and now they still doing this at 46, 47, they don't know they still 15, 16, and 17. You know, this survival mode thing, you know what I'm saying? This guy, that guy, this guy, a guy's a slew. This is teenage mentality. So some of the brothers, they had a teenage mentality, and like you say, women working and women doing different things, and they can't match them mentally. So they feel subservient to the sister, because naturally the man want to feel like, I'm the leader. But now they coming home, and then they meeting a sister who appears to be a good sister, because they might have to move into her house. Like, she might have Section 8, she might have government housing, or she might just be on her stuff and have good job and have her own money. But these brothers don't know how to lead this type of a woman, so they don't feel like a man, and she doesn't treat them like a man. But a lot of it is due to they can't grow up here, so they keep trying to be impressive, and it's really messing in the marriage up. Because I mean, some of them be good sisters, but like how you said, you know, it's sabotaging. You know what I mean? Like, and the brother can't. All he need to do is just calm down, be yourself, brother. You know what I'm saying? But they start trying to be too macho, or, you know, I don't know what word to be. Like okay, like a prime example, like what I see, and we'll get together, and now this I gotta put this disclaimer. This isn't for anybody in this city, because I don't want nobody taking nothing personal. But just like, no, I'm saying, cause like, okay, like me, you, I ain't gonna say the other ones' names, but we've all got on Zoom and did our Aikido class, right? You remember? Well, I know you remember. And then you also finished the Aikido class without them, just me and you, right? And I graded it and all that. Okay. So when I talk about this type of stuff, people think I be making this type of stuff up to take jabs at them. So certain people, when we have classes and the sister might be right and the brother isn't, it affects him. Because, you know, and like some of them, like I know that, you know, because I know them. And, you know, you can see the wear and tear of the drugs on them from when they was younger. The alcohol that was on them when they was younger. And then the stint from prison. Because I'm surrounded by these type of individuals, so I know it when I see it. So that macho feeling not good enough, because first their facial expression will start to change. And this affects the marriage. You see what I'm saying? Like, it really do. And the sisters try to hold on to them, but it's more like they feeling sorry for them. So it's more like they're babying them. You see what I'm saying? So it's a conflict. Like, sisters start feeling like I got a baby, as opposed to a man. But they can't put their pride aside. So they'll sabotage like the whole class. Or they'll start to say weird stuff like, oh, I think you like the brother. You trying to show off for the brother. You know, just weird stuff like that. And it messes the marriage up. You see what I'm saying? Because they can't lead them. That's one thing I see that mess up the marriages. But it's not that they a bad brother. Just mentally, they still kind of where they was before they went to prison. They can't grow up here. Then another dynamic is, and this might be kind of like me. I could put myself in this category. I'm so different. You see what I'm saying? Like behind closed doors, I'm so different than what people used to dealing with. But I came from what people used to dealing with. You see what I'm saying? So like, I had a transformation. So like, some of the things like dynamics with me. So like brothers with me, let's say you have a sister and every Sunday she's just used to cooking like soul food for herself, for her family, and this and that. But the person who she's married to eats salads. You see what I'm saying? Or they eat a lot of food. Now they get stuck. Like, well, what do I do? Like, their mind doesn't process, just make a salad. That don't mean you can't cook all the other stuff that you do for everybody else and all that, but it gets stuck. Right. I don't know what to do for him. Just make a salad. So, but these brothers, because these females can't make that little bit of an adjustment, they expect the brother to adjust because they're used to men that they could control. So, we are deemed difficult. You see what I'm saying? And then if a woman gets drawn to you, that one little adjustment is difficult for them. You know what I'm saying? Because if they start liking you, they start naturally submitting womanly, but their ways, they can't adjust them because some of them start feeling judged, like he want a salad. Maybe he looking at me and feeling a certain way about me because I'm still cooking like it's Thanksgiving. Maybe he don't like how I eat. They're feeling like you judging them, like seriously. So they look at themselves because like they naturally want to follow. So like some women will start wanting to eat the same way you eat, but then they start looking at it like, well, no, I don't want to start eating like that. He gonna start trying to change me, but that ain't none of his intentions. So like sometimes it's brothers like me, we have, you know, and it can be self-sabotaging because they want you to change, but no change for them. You see what I'm saying? You got to submit to their world.
That's a character defect.
It is.
That's a character defect because ain't no way. No. It's a character defect.
It's finna stop. It's finna stop. Hold on, we got to start another one because it's really quick.
Okay. Oh, because you see my little thought was turning.
Yeah, but don't lose it because we're going to come back with it. And then we're going to touch the Umrah thing after because, you know, we got to figure out a way to do something. Okay.